Welcome, kayak anglers. You are tuning into the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network, kayak fishing's best network of shows with great hosts covering all things kayak fishing, bringing you special guests covering topics such as shore fishing, river trips, gear reviews, angler profiles, tournament news, and more. Sit back, relax. Let's do this.
Chasing the 20-incher Susquehanna River podcast is brought to you by these great companies. Railblazer, think outside the tackle box. Kayak Cushion, for them long days on the water. Achigan brand, the official brand of smallmouth bass. Blue Mountain Outfitters, Susquehanna's local kayak shop. Ken's Jigs, need a custom jig? Don't look any further. Nico Fishing Baits, next generation of soft plastics. And Undercover Baits, get hooked on Undercover Baits. Thanks for watching and welcome to the show.
That's 20. That is a 20.
Yo, Sean, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, Carlisle. How are you, brother?
Oh, not too bad. I don't think it played the intro on the main thing because it was only playing on the vertical side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't hear
it was on my main screen, but interesting.
Was
Okay. Well, hopefully
Let
we'll
us
see how
know
it
in the
goes.
comments if that didn't play. I'd like to really know because it wasn't playing on my side. But wow. Anyhow, how about them Philadelphia Eagles, Sean?
Hey, it was a good game. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm going to tell you something. Michael Bradley's in the comments. Hey, what's up, Michael Bradley? He's saying hey to Bailey already. He said he saw it. Yeah. What I want to talk about is I just recently this year started following the Eagles. I watched the playoffs here and there back in the future, stuff like that. But I never really followed football. I'm a big hockey fan, and this year I started following them, and I hopped on the bandwagon with the Eagles because they're the closest to where I live. And wow, what a game, dude. Like, I swear it was like the past 7 or 8 games that I've watched have been nail biters.
I just was gonna say there has just been a ton of good games this postseason. So
It's been crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, welcome everyone to Chasing the 20-inchers, the Susquehanna River podcast. I missed you guys. I feel like we haven't been on for a month. That's what it seems like. But we got a really cool episode today. We got Bailey Eigbrett from New York, the Bassmaster Kayak Series champion of Lake Champlain, who also got the Century Belt this year. Very, very seasoned kayak fisherman. Also host of Serious Angler podcast and has a YouTube channel called Be the Fish that has just about 12,000 followers. So super excited to talk to him, see how he got started and how his career has been going. And he recently just picked up a big sponsorship, so we're going to talk about that. Why don't you start us off, Sean, with the river levels? I know we had a bunch of rain yesterday, so let's see what happened with that.
Yeah. All right. We'll start off with Harrisburg. Again, the river levels are brought to you by Achigan, right? I think Railblazer. Oh, it's right there. Railblazer. Think outside the tackle box. We appreciate them for sponsoring this segment on the show. And as you can see, Carlisle's right. We got a lot of rain, and Harrisburg's on its way up. So
it would have been a great day to fish today.
Oh man, I looked at Wrightsville. Wrightsville's ice. So if you can find open water and you could fish the rise, that might be good. But it might be a challenge to find open water depending where you are.
Yeah. Then next we have the West Branch, Lewisburg, and they also are sitting on a rise at 4.21 feet.
Now it's interesting. My in-laws are upstate right now they have a place upstate that they go to, and they said they're getting snow tonight up there. So they're kind of at the very top of Pennsylvania though. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects it too.
Yeah.
Next we'll jump over to the Marietta Gauge, and interesting enough, the flow hasn't made it down there yet. So
yeah, it's not quite down there yet.
Yeah. So that'll probably be due to a rise if everything upriver's going up. But as of right now, the graph isn't showing it. So
yep. And then finally, last but not least,
North
Tawanda's,
Branch.
and that kind of makes sense if they're up north. They're sitting 4.46 feet, and that's pretty high for Towanda, I would say.
Yeah. Yep. That's very high. So again, thanks Trailblazer for that. Appreciate that. And we'll move on to the next segment where we feature the photo submissions that all our listeners have submitted this week. And I'll go ahead and start that off with Don Worley. Again, this is sponsored by Achigan. Thanks to them. And remember, free the fighter.
Free the fighter. And I'm sure that's not Dan Worley. Yeah. That's probably his daughter or a goddaughter or something.
Right. But it's still really smally. So thanks for that submission, Don.
Yep. And then next we have Vincent Studer. And this is his first fish of 2026.
I saw that on Facebook. Congrats, Vince. And then, man, I'm looking forward to my first fish this year. So
yeah, me too.
Next we'll go jump over to Jake Karen. Jake I caught one on a glide bait, it looks like.
Yeah, I met him yesterday up at the Marysville fishing show that they had up there, Capital City.
Okay.
Up in Marysville, close to Harrisburg, and he's a big time kayak fisherman. So, and he's also a big representative of Undercover Baits.
Nice.
And then next we have Dex, our very own Dex Lamp Tartar. And I think that was recently too.
Yeah, I think it was probably yesterday. I tried to call Carlisle at that show, and I ended up talking to Drew, who's Dex's brother, and he said that they were out yesterday fishing. So I imagine that was probably from yesterday. So,
yep.
And last but not least, Lisa Lake Fishing again submitted their picture. Thanks. He always submits pictures, and we appreciate that. And look at the belly on that thing. That thing's been eaten.
Oh yeah.
Nice
fish.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So again, thanks everyone for submitting those pictures.
Yeah, we really appreciate everyone, even though it's been super cold here in Pennsylvania, especially the Susquehanna area. We just recently started getting some ice melt because of the warmer weather. But we appreciate everyone sending them photos in.
I'm living vicariously through those people right now.
Absolutely. Well, let's without further ado, let's bring Bailey in here. You guys that watch kayak fishing and stuff like that are no stranger to Bailey Eigbrett. Bailey, welcome to Chasing the 20 Inchers.
Yeah, appreciate the invite, boys.
Yeah, we're super excited to talk to you. We know you won a Century belt in Bassmasters and won the championship on Lake Champlain this year. So congratulations for that.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I didn't even think about the Century belt thing until you just said it. I don't know why it hasn't clicked 6 months later.
That's a huge task, brother.
Yeah,
it was cool. It was a cool time. Well, funny story, I guess, on that. We thought from that event originally that we don't really keep records, but our tournament director in New York for local was like, yeah, I think that's the biggest ever smallmouth only, kayak bag in New York. But I had to call myself in. It's like I was fishing on the Vermont side, so technically it's really not the New York bag. But I went and put up 125 the next weekend in New York. So then it kind of worked out.
That's awesome,
holy cow,
dude! That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. Good old New York.
Awesome.
Talk about being on them. A Century belt 2 weeks in a row.
Summertime, man, is when those smallmouth group up. It can just be like when you're on them, it's hard to not it's hard to do wrong when you're on them in the summer. But there's a difference of a couple 100 feet of being off of them and on them. So it's a fun time if you can figure out the window.
Yeah. Well, and a century belt of smallmouth is really cool. Like, not that largemouth aren't, just as cool, but that's a very good size average for smallmouth. So
honestly, I'll say with experience in the Finger Lakes, and even Champlain, honestly, I think it's actually easier to get 100 smallmouth than largemouth. I think
interesting.
The largemouth, it's a lot harder to find a 20-inch largemouth than it is to find a 20-inch smallmouth, because you take 20 inches of the two, on average, the largemouth is going to weigh a lot more.
Oh yeah,
older, in my opinion, than that smallmouth is. But it's wild how that dynamics. It's changing too. Like, 'cause 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have said that.
I'll take it. I'll take a 20-inch smallie over a 20-inch largemouth any day.
I'll take them however they come.
True. You're not wrong. Not wrong at all.
Yeah. So Bailey, why don't you kind of, for the people that don't know, I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there that do know, but why don't you tell them who you are, how you started fishing in the industry, and just a little bit of history about yourself.
Yeah, I'm up here in Western New York right now, but born and raised in the Finger Lakes, and been a kayak angler basically since I was about 13 or so. And really just, the cliche story of grandpa and dad got me into fishing. My first bass, I don't even recall catching it, but my dad loves to tell people I was bawling my eyes out and had him pick it up for me. But I was young enough he loves to tell everybody that story. But they've had me in the woods and on the lake my entire life, and basically thought I was gonna get into and speaking on a terrible weekend of sports, thought I was gonna get a career into the sports industry, but thank gosh I did not do that. But ended up going into chasing the fishing and hunting thing full time, and here we are.
And what got you into podcasting?
Yeah, so the podcasting part, I had to finish my master's degree in sport management. I went and did a 6-month internship at the athletics department at University of Notre Dame. And what started as what I thought would be a 40, 50-hour week turned into a 90-hour week. And basically my boss there bluntly basically saying you can't really have a life outside of college athletics if you want to work in college athletics. And I was like, well, damn, there goes all my fishing I'm going to do here in Southern and Michigan and Northern Indiana. And I was telling my buddy about that. I'm like, because my time on the water is, I love to compete, don't get me wrong, but like I do it for the passion of it, the fun of it, but really to learn. I always want to be constantly learning about something. And obviously, as we all know, fishing, hunting, and things like that, you'll never know everything, which is why I think we love it. It's like, well, damn, I can't fish. How the hell am I going to be getting better and learning? He's like, well, you're a Joe Rogan nut. Go start a podcast. I'm like, nobody wants to hear me talk. He goes, whether you're posted or not, just like invite people on and call it a podcast, and you'll be learning from anglers you want to talk to. I was like, yeah, it's not a bad idea. And started off with some crappy old computer and a Zoom, and 6 years later, here we are.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. What were you talking earlier? Like just recently, you just said about you wanted to have a get into the sports thing. What sport were you playing?
Oh, so I grew up playing hockey and lacrosse, and then because of my laundry list of injuries, I ended up swimming in college and was not going to get back into swimming. Get me wrong, I loved it. Great 4 years, but I never wanted – I haven't touched the pool since, if that says anything. But I wanted to get back into eventually, I always thought I wanted to be an athletic director, or if not that, get into coaching, especially at the collegiate level, whether it was hockey or lacrosse. And really just wanted to immerse myself in that. And I ended up finding a love for the event side of things, like kind of running the events from the behind the scenes. And it was a really cool part of that I got to experience at Notre Dame, but just realized with how much work it is and how little time you get and little pay and how much I want to do hunting and fishing wise still, that was not going to be able to be a reality to do both. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm going to try to figure out a lane. And that was right when COVID was happening, and my route into the fishing industry, at least. Yeah.
Well, you picked the right route, I think.
Yeah. I don't, at that time it would have been pretty bad if I tried to chase college athletics, especially amidst all that COVID craziness and things like that. But yeah, with how much sports break my heart just being a fan, I can't imagine working in it. So I'm glad I picked this side of things.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was one where it's like I wouldn't go do it again, but I was glad it happened. You know what I mean? So glad I did it. Yeah.
So how did your archery season turn out this year? Did you wind up getting anything or?
No, it was a brutal bow season for me. I'll say it was the best bow season I had, but a very unsuccessful one. I had 8 different encounters with a mature buck this year on public land. Had the most time I spent in the woods, the most work I've ever put in. Never killed one, but I did kill my biggest buck ever in gun season at least.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So out of all that time you spent in the woods during archery season, although you didn't kill something, you definitely learned a ton of stuff. I guarantee it.
Most I've ever learned in hunting season was this year by far. And granted, it was because time. A lot of other years I've been fishing majority of the fall and had work. And this was my first year completely full-time content and podcasting that allowed me, the luxury. And I'm very fortunate to have the time to do that. But I spent way too much time, put way too many miles on my truck. And I learned a heck of a lot though. And I think, it's going to be better for years to come from that standpoint of being a little bit more calculated. But I probably spent a good 40 days in the woods this year.
I knew that you had, made the jump to kind of doing what you do as your main income. And I was wondering how long it took you to make that decision and, when you finally kind of knew it was the right time.
Yeah. So I made the jump last Christmas. That was, I had a great job. Don't get me wrong. I worked for over 4 years at a place called Gunpowder, which is a PR agency. That's primarily out in the outdoor industry. Like they're Pure Fishing's PR agency. They're Johnson Outdoors. They have some pretty awesome brands in the outdoor space. And I blame my father for my entrepreneurial mind and want to do so many different things. And so it was calculated. It was a risk, but it was a calculated risk. I have a very supportive wife and very helpful parents that, like I said, my dad is entrepreneurial. So he kind of helped me strategize prior to want to leave, but I had my sights set on trying to do it about 1.5 years before I made the decision to do it. And the agreement with my wife and I was just guarantee, contract wise, match your salary of work. And then it's kind of like nothing's really changed. You're just making that jump in a more intelligent way. I shouldn't say intelligent because I'm not going to ever tell anybody not to take the risk, but like have a safety blanket, if that makes sense. So it was, that was the move, and we're on to year 2 now. And it's,
that's awesome.
It's interesting that you say that because for the folks that remember way back in my paddle and fin days on the news show, I interviewed Bailey, and it was I remember talking to you about that topic about making that shift, and at that time you were still that was the sense I got from you, is that you had enough belief in yourself and you had things planned out and had a way to get there, and so it doesn't surprise me at all that you're there and flourishing. So congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah. Congrats, Bailey.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So, and also he just picked up a big sponsorship this year. Why don't you tell us about that, Bailey?
Yeah. This year, 26, I partnered with folks over at Rapala, 13 Fishing, Suffolk, and VMC, and pretty stoked about that, just from the history of the brand. And
those are some big names.
Yeah, dude, if you told 6-year-old, 8-year-old me that this Rapala that you've been throwing your whole life, that you'd be working with them, I'd tell you you're on drugs. But here we are, and it's incredible, man. I'm very fortunate, and I'm lucky to have some great friends over there. And it's just, I never really wanted to go out and sign with a bait brand. It just was the only one I felt like in my soul I was drawn to, and because I've always been real with people on my platforms of what works, what I don't like, what I do like. And the nice part with that, there is no faking it. I actually do like it. So, when you do things the right way, things fall into place, and now you just got to work hard to keep it. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I've been watching Bailey be the fish for a couple years now. And that's one thing that I love about Bailey. He's the real deal. Like he doesn't bullshit about like, oh, there's no bullshit with him. He's the real deal. And if you guys out there watching want to watch some good content, check it out. It's called Be the Fish. We had a Susquehanna Fishing Tackle tournament here last year, and they gave everybody a 13 fish and oath rod just for signing up for the tournament. And I used that rod for that tournament, and that rod is freaking awesome. Their rods are sweet. I really like them.
Yeah, for $99, that's a pretty badass rod. And that's one thing I think right now, industry wise, total side tangent, like the budget side of the industry is starting to be pretty dang good. I mean, just throw in respect where it's been earned, but like between the oath and like the Shimano SLX on the reel side, like the budget side's been kicking some ass. So it's cool to see that come around. I think that's honestly what the industry needs. And it's cool to see that done in a good way. And honestly, I was in total transparency, and I told them too, I was a little skeptical when it came to 13, as I've never been a believer in 13, but because of everything completely being revamped, redone since the buyout, they've done a hell of a job. And I can at least speak to the oath rods and the myth rods. They've nailed it. That's for dang sure. And obviously there's a lot of great brands out there. It's just, I like to see now that there's some more consistency when it comes to quality control on when it comes to rods and reels, but also options where you don't need to go spend $400.
Yeah, I think a lot of the higher end features are kind of filtering their way down now as they figure out the manufacturing process and can kind of include those in the lower end rods. So it's definitely making it, the lower end much better than they have been in the past. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you take a $99 rod right now, compare it to like 10 years ago to a $300 rod, and that $99 rod's probably better than it. They're kind of almost shooting themselves in the foot that way, but hey, we'll take it as anglers, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I bought a Fate rod, 13 fish and Fate rod back. Shoot, it's got to be 6-7 years ago, and I still use that rod. I love it. They make some good rods, even though the company has changed hands. I still go back to that rod every once in a while. It's like a medium heavy spinning rod, and it's good for certain techniques.
Oh
yeah. So we are based here at the Susquehanna River, so we wanted to talk a little bit about the Susquehanna River. We know Bassmasters is coming to the Susquehanna River in 2026.
Heck yeah.
And there's also on day 2 of the Bassmasters will be the No Limit Power Hour. Are you coming down here for that, Bailey?
Yeah, I'll be. I didn't know that coincided with that, but
they
add it to the list. Here we go.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a $400 weekend.
Yeah, there's a couple weekends this year that are just madness. I'm doing the whole Bassmaster schedule, and I got one weekend on Cayuga that I think there's like 7 different tournaments going on the same day. And now that you say that with Susky, it's like, oh my gosh, we got to be double dipping, triple dipping. Entry fees are going up. Hopefully that means payouts are going up too.
Yeah, but the cool thing is about that is like, you might do crappy on day 1 and then enter the No Limit Power Hour and catch a big fish and win $1,000 right there. You just paid your entry fees.
Yeah, you got a brand new tournament.
And you got gas money for the way home.
Yeah.
So
heck yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. We're really blessed to live close to the Susky. We fish it all the time, especially spring through all the way till the water gets super cold. Me and Sean fish a lot together. We have a bunch of other buddies that fish with us. We kind of have a little bit of a team that we have, that we go against everybody in tournaments and stuff like that. And we're starting to learn the river pretty well. We know you've been fishing it for a bunch of years back when Hobie came. Mm-hmm. Hobie was on the river, and you done well in some of the Susquehanna tournaments. We wanted to ask you, like, what do you do as far as like preparation for when you come down here to the Susky? Like, how do you break it down? Do you go off of history a lot, or you just put a lot of practice in, or how do you go about breaking down the Susquehanna River?
Yeah, honestly, to put it bluntly, there are 2 different places to me that I'll fish tournaments at, but they're very hard for me to get into the tournament mindset, if that makes any sense. The Susky is one of them, and up in the Adirondacks is another one. Granted, there's never been big tournaments up there, but we've had some local ones up there. And honestly, for those, like when I go on the Susky, it feels like I'm a kid again. Like it feels like it's hard for me to get in that tournament mindset because I'm having so much fun, and the Susky's just so unique in that respect compared to any other fishery. And it's just like I'm just going there to have fun, and whatever bites I get, obviously, it's obviously there's some science to reading current and things like that and understanding certain things. And I'll have to, to give it the respect it's due. Like my buddy Steven Sisto last year we were at the Susky, or was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. The Bassmasters at Susky. We went out and practiced together one of the days, and he just like, not in any specific areas, but like just taught me some different things that only somebody that has been on the river for that long would know. And a big shout out to him, because there's a lot of that I learned that I didn't even realize smallmouth would do in a river system. And that's helped in more ways than one. And when it comes to the Susky though, dude, like there really is no prep because we don't have a lot of places like it up in New York.
I was going to ask you that. What's your home waters like compared to the Susky?
So I mean, we have the New York version of the Susquehanna that comes up through, but I've never fished it, to be totally blunt with you. I mean, we've have the Genesee River, which is honestly, there's no comparison whatsoever. It's a better walleye fishery than it is a bass fishery. And that's kind of like a muddy canal system that is super up and down. We have the Niagara River, and that can't compare either because that's two different beasts. So honestly, I compare it more to creek fishing as a kid. That's kind of what I compare it to. And then just simple reading current and kind of just going and doing what I want to do. It's a very just instinctual thing for me. I mean, all bass are going to look at cover very similar. And you can just look at it from like, honestly, I kind of take it a lot of my St. Lawrence experience, Niagara River experience, and I put it from a macro to a micro level. And that's kind of where I started. Now that's not great because I've had my butt freaking handed to me out there. But I think if you know how to simplify your bait selection in regards to being efficient of getting fish in the boat, which I learned with throwing a chopo versus a buzzbait on a place like that, if you can understand that stuff, you can have a successful tournament if you know how to run water and then keep running new water. And learn that. I think the first event I fished there, I got like 17th, and I have a 12th. And then the Bassmaster event 2 years ago, I was in 7th after day one, and then dropped like 95 inches of fish. And I don't even know what I fell to. I don't think I submitted 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I went home with my tail between my legs.
Yeah. Susky Baskin is asking, where will Bassmasters launch on the Susky? So what they normally do is they have a boundary. I don't know what it is, normally 50 miles of the Susquehanna River or something like that. You can launch between whatever the boundaries are, whatever they make the lower part and the northern part. You can launch from any boundary in that section. So I hope that answered your question.
I think he was just asking what the boundaries were, probably.
Oh yeah, probably.
I don't even think it's up yet because
I didn't think so.
I want to say they're out of Harrisburg this year, but I can't recall.
Harrisburg as the north or the south?
I think it's as of the HQ, if you will, the hub.
So it'll be above and belolo.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I think
we know them waters pretty well.
Heck yeah, that would make me happy.
That's in my opinion, that's the best waters. I mean, that's where I feel like the bigger fish come out of. But
Middle Susky is probably the best area to have it, from Harrisburg up to, North and West Branch, somewhere there.
Yeah, at the confluence up there. Yeah,
that's the best. That's biggest fish. In my opinion, that's the best place to fish. Yeah, that's awesome. So, you fished a bunch of Hobie events. Did you ever fish any Power Hour events on the Susquehanna?
I've never fished a Power Hour event ever. I need to.
Oh man,
I've been dying to.
They're so much fun.
Yeah.
No, I was supposed to fish one last year. Unfortunately, literally the day I went to go leave, I got sick. Like I couldn't stand up sick. And so unfortunately, that didn't work out. It's been a schedule thing, but no, all I've heard is great things about that tournament format and how they run it. So we'll love to do that. And then now that you say that they're on the Susky at the Bassmaster this year,
this will be your first year, bro.
Yeah,
man,
awesome.
if you can find them on that second day, that's going to be a good payday.
Heck yeah. Michael Bradley is asking, do you ever see yourself transitioning into boat tournaments?
No, honestly, no. I think, yes. But honestly, my primary driver to wanting to get a boat is just take family with me, take my wife. There's a lot of times she wants to go with me, where times where maybe we don't want to be in the kayaks. And I do have a love for big water, and a lot of times when I want to go out and it's manageable in 4 footers, it's where it's not good in the kayak, you can do it in the boat. That's where I kind of want it. Will I fish maybe some local stuff? Maybe, team tournaments. Like my dad comes up, I want to fish a tournament someday with my dad.
That'd be cool.
But otherwise, no. I mean, I'll get a boat eventually. It's just going to be more for fun purposes than anything else. But I'll never leave the kayak. Kayak is.
What are you fishing out of now?
I'm still in a PA 14.
PA 14. Okay.
Yeah.
How's that thing in river systems? Is that handled pretty well?
I've been in some bigger river systems and it's been just fine. I think anytime you have 360, it's an advantage. But I've never taken it in the Susky. I've only ever taken the Outback and the iTrek, which I'll take the new Angler iTrek this year.
I'm looking to possibly try that, so I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to that thing too. I'm gonna ideally have a new system this year where I'm gonna have the Angler iTrek to use all my local tournaments and save the PA a little bit more rigged out for all the Bassmaster stuff on the national scale,
like bigger water.
Yeah, but just have fun with that. That Angler iTrek looks fun, man. Dude, the original iTrek they have is just a fun little boat, just so light. Take it wherever you want.
The one thing that worries me is the puncturing it with fish fines. That's the only thing that I've heard that scares me. So
I've definitely lost some fish on my own doing, trying to keep them away from the kayak if I have treble hooks, that sort of thing too. Especially that's definitely an issue. I want to say they beefed it up a little bit.
And I thought I read that too somewhere, but I never saw officially that they did. So I was hoping they did, because like I said, I think that's going to be my next kayak, but I just I'm not sure. So
I've had some good luck with. I got wood here, got a knock. I've had a good track record with them. I love that there's a backpack that comes with the iTrek when you deflate it. Because I've taken it into I've hiked a mountain to get to a lake to then go kayak fish.
That's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a great day to have my GoPro not work because it was awesome.
Oh man.
We will bring that back this year though, I promise. The iTrek's fun, dude. It's so if they beefed it up, it's even better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fishing out of the Innovative Sportsman now, so I have it's an inflatable, but it is very puncture resistant. Like
beefcake.
I have not, I don't have any wood to knock on, but I have a big table. but yeah, I like one earlier this year I was fishing and throwing the Chapo, and it I threw it upstream and it came under my kayak, and then I went to pull it and it was stuck on something, and I'm like, that's on my kayak, that's not good. And it was like I just couldn't reach it over any side, and I was like, there's definitely a hole in it, but it never punctured it. So I have no clue how, but
that'd be a puncture factor.
Oh man, I was like, how in the heck am I even going to get to that? So
I remember, Jake was telling us after that Bassmaster event, basically like he was in a floating taco trying to get back after he punctured his iTrek. To get back to the ramp.
And he was the one I talked to about the new about his concerns with the iTrek, and that's what scared me away and made me go more towards the Innovative Sportsman. But
that's what scares me about all inflatables.
Yeah,
I just don't trust it, man. I'm thinking, I'm like seriously thinking about the links, but I talked to somebody yesterday about the links, and they were like, "Oh, it's horrible in the river. Like it's so tippy, and if you go down any chutes, like I thought
it was like super wide."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And
he's like, Fisher video with that thing and how she walks around on it musky fishing.
I know. Yeah. And this guy's like telling me like, "Oh, I almost
think he was
confused
it
twice," and I'm thinking like, man, I don't know what to do now. Like, am I going to get a PA 12 or a 14 or a Lynx? I'd rather stick with the Lynx just because it's so like light and very simple to move around, and I wouldn't need a trailer. I could just throw it on the top of my car, and
if I had
be done with it.
Hobie dying wish, it would be they put a 360 in an Outback.
Amen. I have
if they put a 360 in a kayak that didn't break, That's the greatest kayak ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That solved everything.
That's my tournament boat. Well, when we fish KA, because we can't have motors and kayak anglers, but that's what I fish kayak anglers out of still. I think I have a 2019, and it's showing its wear and tear. It's
durable, man.
Oh, it is. I replaced the keel thing, man. I had it worn down to where I couldn't even get the screws out. I had to tap the screws out because they were worn off.
Yeah.
From all the dragging that I do, but that boat is still going strong, and it'll if I get the iTrek, that might replace it for my tournament boat for kayak anglers, but it's definitely been a great boat.
Yeah, there's not much downside to it. I mean, the only cons I have with the Outback is there's, at least for me, I got big old thunder thighs, so there's not much room to measure fish in front of me. Other than that, though, it's not too great in bigger water because the waves.
I was just going to say waves come over the front a little bit. Yeah, it's a wet ride when it's choppy, but
what about the seat? Doesn't the seat don't you sit a little too low though in the Outback?
If you have stock, you can get risers though. And
you can get risers, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're about halfway through the show, guys. We're going to take a 30-second commercial, and we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back. We're here with Bailey Eigbrett, one of the greatest kayak fishermen of all times.
Oh, don't say that. You lost all credibility now, bro.
No, but very, very seasoned kayak fisherman. Great guy too. I mean, if you guys want to check out his YouTube channel, Be the Fish, he's got some awesome content on there, and he also runs a podcast called Serious Angler, which is I watch it just about every time it's on. So I have about an hour drive to work, and anytime that I can get a good podcast in, I'm listening to it. And it's normally when the Serious podcast comes on, I'm listening to it. So yeah. So Sean, I have to ask Bailey, since he has been a hockey fan for most of his life, what is your favorite hockey team?
It's Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, that's right. He did say that earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, you made him say that out loud.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Here comes the haters.
0-2 on the weekend, boys. It's not.
But normally, when you're a hockey fan, you have more than one team. You got to have a second team.
Yeah, I mean, when I was like little, I was a Sabres fan. My whole family's Sabres fans. My whole wife and her family are all Sabres fans. There is photo evidence of me as a 3-year-old wearing Sabres gear, but you won't see it past the age of 3. But not there's good reason why. And so I could probably skate before I could walk, play hockey, and all up until my last year of high school. And I saw played against Mario Lemieux's kid a bunch of times growing up. And there's one game, Mario Lemieux, when I was like 9 years old, came in the locker room, gave a whole big speech to our team where, of course, like we're 8 and 9-year-old kids, like starstruck with Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
And we were playing also, it was like the same year we were playing up in Montreal. And it happened to be that there was a junior game that night, and it was Sid's team that they were playing. I watched Sid before he got drafted. And we're like, who is this kid flying around making everybody look stupid? And became a Sid fan. And then he got drafted to the Pens. And then I fell in love with the whole story of Sid moving in with Mario and his family. And it's like, watch them win the cup against Detroit, and then watch them win 3 cups. And now I'm now a terrible, terrible sports fan, being a Philly fan and a Pittsburgh fan. So I'll call myself out there. But we're here. And I'm owning it. I'm owning it.
Yeah.
All the hate.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good thing about being an outdoorsman and a bow hunter, a deer hunter, a fisherman. You control your own destiny. You know, you don't have to worry about watching these pro teams and winding up gone through a bunch of napkins because you're crying all night. This is the deal. Like, if you're an outdoorsman, you control what you do. You don't have to worry about what's going on with the sports and this and that. But and it's also cool to be out there and learning things every day, no matter how educated you are into hunting and fishing, no matter how many times you go out in the woods, how many times you go out in the water, you are learning something, which is the coolest part about it.
Absolutely. Definitely. I don't learn anything from watching sports besides that I hate my teams.
And it increases my blood pressure,
That's right. Yeah. That's how it should be, though. You're not a true fan if you don't get worked up over it.
Lemieux or Crosby?
Dude, I love this debate. I love it.
I mean, Lemieux's like he's right there with Gretzky, I would say. He's one of the best players ever to live.
Yeah.
But
I look
Crosby's right there too.
I love this because there really isn't a bad answer to it.
No.
But I put it Lemieux as one of the greatest in the league, but I think Sid's the greatest Penguin ever.
Yeah.
Lemieux's one of the greatest in the NHL, but Sid's definitely the best and most accoladed
all-time Penguin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
he had a lot of time off though. He did get a lot of injuries, so who knows? Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what your goals are, both fishing wise, podcast wise, for 2026.
Man, fishing wise, I just want to keep the trend going. We had the first year completely full time and fished some tournaments around here, but was the first year I ever really got to put all my time into all my own stuff, like from the social media to the YouTube to the podcast. And I feel like it was a big learning year from that of what worked, what didn't, what systems worked, talking about my own little, I guess, my internal operations of here in the office where I am now and trying to ramp that up, dial that in more. I know that's going to be an ever ongoing process, but, want another big growth year I got some big plans to ways to grow in that I'm excited to bring out this year. And I know that with a podcast, we're going to be expanding pretty big too. And so we got some plans over there, and I have some other business ventures that I'm excited to go down that are completely outside of fishing and hunting. So, honestly, dude, my biggest thing to answer your question, because I'm basically giving you the super long answer of it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it's honestly, dude, I just want to have fun because I feel like a lot of the fishing industry has lost sight of that. I always want to compete. Don't get me wrong when it comes to tournament stuff, but number one for me is always going to be fun and adventure. I want that feeling when you go to a brand new body of water. I want that to be on my mind when I go fishing every single day. And
heck yeah, dude.
That's part of why we're doing the whole Bassmaster Series this year, because it's almost kind of like a forced go and fish brand new bodies of water and things like that. But I'm just excited to go fishing, man. I don't care if I get last in the tournaments, but I want to go explore some fisheries on the way there, on the way home, and just have some fun making some content.
I mean, I kind of feel that a little bit. I'm not the most competitive person. I do fish a lot of tournaments, but I do it more just to be around the other guys, to try. It forces me to go to new places, and if I occasionally do great, that's awesome. I love that, and I'm blessed for that opportunity. But I'm happy just kind of doing my thing, and I really like that mindset, and hopefully I can do that as well, because sometimes people get so strung out and they lose sight of why they're doing it in the first place. Well, I mean, some people, I guess it's a living too, but so obviously it's a little more important. But
the winning stuff on the tournament side is always just a bonus, and that's kind of how I structure things, where I'm going to that tournament just because, I mean, if you think about it, at the end of the day, when we leave this world, maybe I might remember some of the wins, maybe. Otherwise, what I am going to remember, though, is, dang, remember that time I traveled to Florida, fished that random lake in the middle of nowhere, slept in my truck, and caught a 10-pounder? That's the kind of stuff you're going to remember, not a tournament, something like that. It's more of the adventure aspect, or like, hey, dude, remember when we went down that really sketchy road? We don't know if we're going to be able to get the kayaks back out of the water. Like, that's the kind of stuff you remember with your boys, your family, whomever it is. That's the kind of stuff
that's the fun stuff,
for.
Man.
Yeah. That's real fishing right there. That's what I'm looking forward to.
The stories you get to tell your grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We got a question here from Susky Bass. He's saying, what is your favorite technique, cranking plastics or, well, it doesn't say or top water.
Yeah.
So
yeah, honestly, dude, like I've been asked this question a lot, and just not just river stuff, but like in general, what's your favorite? And dude, I swear I don't think I've ever had the same answer, because it's just like, it also depends on what time of year it is and what I'm enjoying doing. But
yeah,
when it comes to the river, it's hard to beat top water, man. It is.
I was just gonna say,
if it ain't a choppo buzzbait, like, then maybe I'm throwing a spinnerbait. If not, I probably don't have anything else even on the kayak at the time. So if they're not gonna eat that, then I'm just gonna be staring at my top water all day, because that's probably all I'm gonna throw, to be quite frank.
Yeah. Michael Bradley's asking, will you ever go back to Lake George? Seemed very unfriendly to out of towners.
I'll go back. Fishing is awesome. The views are incredible because it's Adirondacks, but fishing a tournament there, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. They're not the most polite and welcoming people. Maybe
That's
the north end is nice. But,
wow.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's some seriously good turkey hunting up there in the Adirondacks.
Man, you're talking way too loud, dude. Don't be telling people that now. Come on now.
Yeah, you got to keep that on the down low, man.
Well, there's not.
New York turkey hunting is terrible. Don't ever come up here. The turkeys, there's none of them, and they're really hard to catch up to.
Yeah. Well,
you'll definitely not see 30 of them in every single field when you go up there. No, I'm just messing. Yeah, the turkey hunting is amazing. We have really dumb turkeys.
Yeah.
But anybody wants to get put on turkey, holler at me.
I've been up there several times and killed multiple turkeys up there, and it was just the scenery up there is freaking awesome.
Yeah. Guillermo was actually, him and I are supposed to go turkey hunting when they came up for Cayuga. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. And then because I think I was working at the time. Yeah, it was 2 years ago because I was working at the time, and I couldn't swing it. But I'm pretty sure he killed the turkey up here on our public land. And
nice.
Yeah, we have a lot of lakes around here that have some public land attached to them where, I want to do it this year where come turkey season, I will have a shotgun in the kayak when I go fishing.
Yeah, awesome. You hear one gobble, hit the bank real quick and go after them.
I'll fish with a turkey call in my mouth just for fun, a lot of times, just because some of them are so dumb, man. They'll follow you down the bank. Like, I'll just be cranking down the bank and they'll follow you. It's just, man,
that sounds way better than the turkeys I've seen. I've been turkey hunting a few times, and they outsmarted me every time. So
yeah, PA turkeys are tough for sure.
Yeah, they just get to that New York border and they just see freedom because not as many people hunt them. But yeah,
that'd be a great way to. If you're out there in the evening, that'd be a great way to roost a bunch of birds out on your kayak fishing.
You're just giving up all the secrets tonight, dude. Gosh, bro.
Hey, I like seeing turkeys get shot in the face. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I say all this, I'm going to see every parking lot and lake access packed this year now, out of staters.
Oh, you'll be good.
Yeah,
you'll be good. But all right, we're looking forward to you coming down here, though, for sure. We want to fish against you and see what we can, how we rank up against the serious angler.
Just save a few for me, will you?
Yeah, we will. Definitely. We really appreciate you coming on the show, Bailey. Sean, you have anything else for Bailey while we still got probably like 12 minutes or so. I don't know if you want to hang out.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do a giveaway with Achigan.
I'll do whatever you guys want. Any distraction away from sports is great right now. We're talking about fun stuff. I don't want
there's a late game, right? What's the late game?
I don't want to think about sports, to be honest. You guys gave me a great distraction here talking about fishing.
Yeah.
Because the moment I get off this podcast, I get reminded that all of my teams suck this weekend. And I don't get to go fishing for another 2 weeks. So I'm in misery still. So as long as you guys need me, I'm here.
2 weeks. Shit, how long we got, Sean? We got a while, way more than 2 weeks.
No, if we get a warm couple days, that might make up some open water. I'm still recovering from back surgery, so I'm probably out for a little bit yet. But
yeah. Are you going down to Florida, Bailey?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh wow.
For the Bassmasters. Yeah, nice.
Yep. We'll leave a little.
Is there any event that you're looking forward to in that series, or just
I'm looking forward to all of them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the one on the schedule this year is the Natty for sure. Obviously, just because it's the big event and it's a 3-day. And it's on Chickamauga and Nickajack, which I love. I love going there. So looking forward to that one. But I'd say like of the regular season, it's going to be a wild week of schedule and logistics. But I'm fishing the Santee Cooper event. And once that ends that Sunday, I need to then drive immediately home, which is about a 12, 13-hour drive. It's not terrible. Get home. I'm going to have to pack my bags before I leave for Santee, and then I fly to Clear Lake to fish the Bassmaster the very next weekend.
Wow.
Nice.
So we got a rental truck. I got a good buddy over there that's got a kayak all ready for me that I can borrow for the weekend. Very fortunate. And thankfully, some of the connections we made with Serious Angler this year, we actually flew out west and supported the BAM tour out there. One of the guys that was one of my boaters for covering it from a media standpoint, he actually lives on Clear Lake and said I could stay at his place for the week. So it kind of worked out perfect. And going to go compete on Clear Lake and get my absolute butt handed to me by Damian Towle and all those boys over there. But I've never fished Clear, and I got to fish Clear because it's one of those lakes you got to fish in your lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a bucket list for sure.
Yeah, bucket list for sure, dude. That's awesome.
I can't wait. It's gonna be cool. I like supporting the West Coast because a lot of those guys come out this way and want to be the lone Easterner trying to go out west.
Yeah.
So, how long did it take you to learn forward-facing sonar?
That's a good
Did
question.
you have to put a lot of time into it before you actually like figured out what was a bass and what was a trash fish or whatever?
That part didn't take too long. It's hard to quantify like what point when things clicked. I wouldn't say it took that long, at least from that standpoint. But also, one thing to remember too is so many fisheries are different. And regards to there's picking out fish species in open water, and there's picking out fish species when they're in cover. And that is a very difficult thing to do. And then from there, understanding based on behavioral patterns of like what most like, if you don't know what most likely those fish are and kind of how they're swimming, how they're behaving, what's a walleye versus a smallmouth. And sometimes, I mean, there's a lot of, like channel cats that are like 10, 12 pound channel cats that'll look like big largemouth. But how they approach a bait is completely different. And so it's, I got to use forward facing a decent amount before I ever had it. Cause my first one I owned was immediately when Mega Live came out. Cause I've been Humminbird the whole time. But I used a little bit of Garmin prior to that, back when it was still the Panoptics. And so I think my learning curve was a little bit faster because I was I was fresh to it when it was first really kind of getting on the trend about, what's that, 5 years ago now?
Yeah.
But I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, I'm still learning, dude. I think I've gotten pretty efficient with it. But when it comes to understanding and stuff, it takes a while, and especially from applying it. That's where it really kind of like you need to connect the dots a little bit. But man, it's so cool. Like if you can put aside the seeing on a screen, seeing your bait, trying to catch a fish aspect of it, and use it as a learning tool to connect different things of how fish behave with each other and how they behave with the cover that they're in, that sort of thing. It is so freaking cool, the stuff you can learn. But it takes a while, dude. It ain't easy. Like
how long do you think, like, since when you first got it till you caught a fish using it, like literally seeing the fish cast to catch? Was it a month? Was it a couple weeks? Or
first trip? But
really?
But trip. To be fair, the first trip I ever took with it by myself, I went to my juice holes because I wanted to see what they look like. I was excited. I wanted to see what they look like. And so like the juice holes were, the pets, like they're gonna eat. And so it was sort of like I knew that was gonna happen. Now it's getting good at distance, accuracy, and also retrieve and everything, and knowing what you're seeing on the screen. Like I think I stared at a bluegill like 5 casts in a row thinking it was my bait. And so like, there's definitely a learning curve to it, but like, there's times too, man, where it can be pretty dang easy. And that's like, I'm talking about Champlain When you know the only things out there are drum and smallmouth, and the big giant blobs that aren't moving very fast, you know those are drum. But if you see 5-6 bottle rockets shooting through the column, those are going to be smallmouth. And it's just a matter of presenting your bait, and which is kind of just, it's a timing and precision thing, which can become second nature. And so like when you get that part down, it's I mean, I'll just call spade a spade. It's pretty easy when you can get on those fish in the summertime when they're schooling on bait. It's just understanding when they're doing it, why they're doing it, the windows to do it, and then having the mechanics to do it. And so it's just becoming a race in that standpoint.
Is there instances where you won't use it? Like I was thinking like on the Susky, is that
I'll never take it to the Susky. I think the Susky deserves better than that.
Yeah, you don't need it. But you don't need it there.
That's what I was wondering. I was thinking that, but I didn't want to assume,
Yeah, no, I mean, I really think, I mean, I'm sure there's some people that have found applications for it. Maybe, we're talking like down at Harrisburg, some of those deeper sections potentially. But like, I feel like, do I think forward facing can be used just about anywhere? Yes. Do I think it's efficient? No. I think in that standpoint, you're seeing the people you're seeing winning are winning shallow, and in a specific way,
just reading the water, and
they're understanding the small nuances of the river, things like that. As long as they're winning legally, of course. And it's like that from that standpoint, it's a skill thing, and that is, when it comes to the Susky, I'll never have a graph on. I mean, it might be nice to have depth every now and then, but like you could probably use one of those little deeper things, or have like a small helix or something like that. That's out of the way. But
Michael Bradley asked, do you think side scan or forward facing would be more advantageous to a non-tournament angler with just one unit? I wonder what he's
non-tournament. I mean, I guess it depends on what your goals are. And where you fish too.
I think it would help just locating fish, like eliminating dead
fish.
Water. Yeah,
not just fish either.
Structure too.
Structure for sure.
Honestly,
side scan especially.
I'd give up forward facing before side scan. At least me personally. I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but I am such a big proponent of using side scan and side imaging. For me, it's just like it. For me, I feel like I'm one with it. Like I can understand everything information wise it's giving me of understanding the lay of the land. And if you have it dialed right, you can see those suspended fish too. And so it's that way. It's just like, it's a way for me to go cover a heck of a lot of water and understand it a lot faster and be able to find a lot of dead water. Where it's like, if you're a non-tournament angler, like, I guess it just depends on what your goals are and where you fish at. Cause like if you're fishing like a Lake Champlain, for example, I want side scan 100% because you can still find those rock piles in the places that a lot of those fish are going to be at. Whereas forward facing, you can find them, but like you have to have it down and be actively scanning to do it, where you can be going 4 or 5 miles an hour with side scan and be covering water a heck of a lot faster and understanding it better. Where if you're like at a Smith Lake or something like that, where all those fish are nomadic almost all year round chasing bait, forward facing is probably a little bit better if you're looking to go catch fish. But it all depends on what you want to do.
Yeah. Good answer.
I saw he mentioned something about Greg Blanchard. Blanchard is an OG New Yorker. He moved from the second worst state to the first worst state. Still poke fun at him. I've known Greg before he did YouTube, and that was back when our tournament trail was 8 of us, a tournament basically. I was still in high school. Greg won just about every single tournament, and that was a good time. There really weren't like tournaments. It was kind of like buddies coming together, throwing $20, going fishing. Well, for me, it was my dad dropping me off to go fish tournaments. But yeah, he's an OG New Yorker. That's why he fishes Cayuga off and on. But he decided to desert us for the West Coast.
West Coast, yeah.
I seen a video he made last year where it showed him coming back to New York just to, I think he was on like a holiday vacation or something like that, and he decided to do some fishing while he was here in New York.
Yeah, he comes back and visits every now and then. I still tease him that he's a wussy because he won't hop in the local tournaments, but he does come home to fish and stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to going out and seeing him and his crew on the West Coast this year. I don't say
I'd like to fish the Delta out there and try that. I've heard it's can be pretty crazy.
I'm gonna try to make time to go do that. It all depends because after churning and burning from Santee Cooper. I might be a little bit burnt out, and the wife might not be too pleased of 2.5 weeks gone. But hey, here we are. We're living the dream, baby.
That's right.
Yeah. I did want to go back real quick. Like when you first decided to go full time doing this stuff, like the next day, like after that, like what was your mindset as far as like, okay, I'm working for myself now. Like how were you in that situation? Like, were you just like 100%, let's do this full, like bored, I want to do everything right and just go 100% full force? Or were you just kind of a little bit worried in the back of your mind, or how did that go?
I mean, dude, I'm still worried, to be blunt with it. Like, but I think in any business and a lot of like the entrepreneurs that I study and admire, they'll tell you there's no such thing as when you're losing that fear. Like, and especially if you use the fear for a good, from a motivator standpoint, like if you
I was just thinking that. Yep.
Yeah. Like it's more of, I'm not scared I'm going to lose this. I'm more using that fear of like, I know tomorrow it could be, I'll be gone. And it's more of, I need to do the absolute best I very possibly can to keep this and basically not give any client or brand that I work with any reason to drop me, because I need to do the best work I possibly can. And I think that coincides with my own stuff where mine will grow, and it's just going to help in different avenues, whether it's business, fishing, partner work with brand stuff. And so it's, I think it helped that I've been doing content for several years and kind of been doing it in my free time, that I knew what it could do if I had all of my focus and all of my time. And so, I mean, yeah, I was nervous as hell making the jump. I was like, man, am I an idiot for leaving this job? Because this is a great gig. I love the people I worked with, which is a very hard thing to find these days. And it was a lot of push from my wife and the people around me in my circle. And so I was nervous. And when I made the jump, my last day of work, it kind of really worked out well this way, that my wife and I were actually on our way down to Florida to see my parents for the holidays, because my last day was like the 22nd of December, something like that. And I was like, had all these plans, get down there, get grinding, go to work, things like that. And she basically told me to get off my phone for the weekend, at least give me a couple of days of like, know what it's like to just
chill,
be stress-free. Yeah. Let the brain mellow and prepare. And that helped big time. So there's a lot to it, but I mean, if you're confident in your abilities and stuff like that, then it's never going to be on you. If that makes sense. If you know your work and you're always willing to put in the time and the effort and the brain power it takes to try to keep leveling up day by day, week by week, then you don't have anything to worry about. Then, because if something goes wrong, that's not on you. You know what I mean? So everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. And I'm a firm believer in that. If you're doing the right things, being a good human, then everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. So
awesome answer. One of the key parts about that answer is having a supportive wife.
Very lucky, man. Very lucky.
Yeah. And I'm lucky too, because my wife supports me in this too, as far as all my fishing adventures and everything else. She's 100% behind me. And that's a key factor in your life. If you don't have that support from your wife, you might as well just go jump off a bridge on the Susquehanna River.
Whether you fish, you hunt, or you're an Eagles fan, it's very good to have a supportive wife.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, well, we appreciate you coming on, Bailey. We know you're going to succeed 100%. We could just tell from your attitude, man. You're gonna blow things apart. It's gonna be awesome. We look forward to seeing where you go and what you do in life. We just want to say thank you again for coming on. And if you want to hang out, we're going to take 5 minutes. We're going to do a little giveaway from Achigan brand. We're going to do a $50 gift card for Achigan, but we're not going to announce the winner until our next podcast. What we're going to have everybody do is type in the comments. The people that are still watching, you're lucky because you hung around to the end here. Type in hashtag Achigan brand in the comments, and you will be entered into a $50 gift card to Achigan brand, the official brand of smallmouth bass. Free the fighter.
Billy, why don't you let them know too where they can find you and all the different socials and everything?
Yeah, if there is a social media platform out there, there's a good chance I'm on it.
I was going to say, you kind of own the socials, and that's always been part of your deal, right? Just brand and building your brand and getting that out there.
Yeah. I've always just, I don't know. I've had an enjoyment for creating content, things like that, and sharing that with people. But yeah, any Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, YouTube. YouTube's Be the Fish. Otherwise, everything else is just Bailey Eigbrett. You can find me through Serious Angler or wherever you want. But yeah, appreciate the invite, boys. Happy to jump on anytime. And my buddy Luis Delgado and I will be up fishing the Susky, and we'll be camping. So hopefully we'll have some campfire beers and share some water come this summer.
That sounds cool.
You'll have to let us know after day one where you guys are hanging out so we can go come drink a beer with you or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, fellas.
Yeah, thanks, Bailey. All righty. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up, Carlisle, and we will catch you all next week. Anything you want to add to close?
Yeah, I just want to thank all of our sponsors that support our show. You know who you are. And I also want to announce that we just landed a new sponsorship with Vicious Fishing Line. So we will have a code soon for that. So for you guys to get a discount on that. And don't forget, type in the comments, and we're going to let it go for 2 weeks. So I'm sure we're going to have a pretty decent amount of people commenting, and then we'll pick a winner on the next show. Type in #Achigan brand, and you will be entered in for a $50 gift card for Achigan. And they make some really nice apparel, hats, sweatshirts, T-shirts. I see Sean's got his Quest for the 23 sweatshirt on. So, you support the brand, and they support us. So we appreciate everyone for watching this week. We will catch you on the next Chasing the 20 Inchers. Thanks again for watching.
See you guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, for future shows, like, follow, share, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out our individual channels and accounts too. Want to be a guest on one of our shows and talk of adventures, gear, or products? Contact us. Thank you for watching The Noob Show with Matt Gibson, Chasing the Tide with Dustin Nichols, The Rusty Hook with John Rapp, The River Run with Adam Fraser Pross, May Contain Fishing with Daniel Woodcock, Chasing the 20s with Carlisle Esterly and Sean Lavery, Friday Night Bites with Brian Schiller. Thanks for tuning into the Paddle and Fin Network. Subscribe and always wear your PFD.